So the vision, I'd say, brought me to find a house, one village away from where I grew up. A Colombia woman lent it to me, and it was Christmas. Nobody ever moves in Switzerland during Christmas. All the government offices are closed, and it takes a long time to do the procedure for telling the government you're moving and stuff. But there's internet, and yeah, it worked wonderfully. So then I lived there maybe 5 years, and I had a garden, I had a stream in front of the house, I had grass, there were the hills. But it was in midst those hills. It was exactly the way I imagined. So the sun would vanish pretty soon. I wasn't on a hilltop. So after some time I went like, well, you know, the former house owner had had a dog pension. The dogs peed in the upper room. So once again, Christmas, I had a wish. I wanted to leave the house. The owner did not allow me to paint those rooms, so I went like, I don't want to live like this. So I left the house for a tent. No, it was first, out of nothing, I found another house in an even steeper valley. There I knew I didn't want to stay because the house owner, it was co-shared. It was 2 parties in there, me and the one living upstairs. He didn't treat me nicely. Like, you know, he wouldn't answer email, and he would phone me a lot, and he was dirty, and he didn't give me the keys when the flat was given over to me. He just put them on top of his car. So he was a hole. So I said to myself, I'm leaving. So I found another house, even more in the south, but now it was an open valley. It was shielded by mountains, so from the north the bad weather never reached me. So it was perfect. But the thing is, it was within a small village, and someone in the neighboring house moved in, and he rebuilt the roof, and the walls got painted, and he was just basically murdering his own dog. He was an old dog, and he just killed it, not letting it fall asleep and die in peace. I don't want to live beside people that have plastic plant watering material outside, and once a week the surrounding stinks because they have artificial bullshit in their clothes detergents. Okay, like, you know, the soap and all. So what I did was giving my house owner the sack. So I moved into a tent in Zurich in a wood. First I slept in a park. It wasn't as heroic as it sounds like right now. I just wanted to evade that bullshit situation with that neighbor. And it was winter again. So all Novembers I get into a crisis when I get into my journal, looking at the past year probably. I don't know. So again it was November, and so December I decided to move into my tent. I got it from the place where I had all my stuff stored. It was all possible to fit into a car, so I still don't own furniture or curtains or kitchenware or a lot of clothes. I own the perfect set of clothes though. So in Zurich in the wood I still continued looking for a house on a hilltop in the sun. But then my Cuban lady offered me another of her houses down there in the valley. So I thought it's still better than being in the woods in a tent. Like imagine you need a puke, you're sickly, you're in that tent. So you open a tent, you puke, and then you get inside again. That one I went through. So, and also going to the toilet in the morning. You either go to the toilet when leaving the tent, just do it in one go, or when it's Sunday or whatever, you want to stay in the tent, you of course need to leave a tent, and then out in the open you do your business. And then again you go inside. You cannot really make a fire at night, not at daytime, because it's forbidden to live in a tent in a wood nearby Switzerland, richest city, Zurich. It's just not possible. People that go with their dogs, they will go calling the police, and in no time you have someone coming to, get you going. So that's how you do it. So again, you hear that noise, that's the cable car down there. So this is the midway bench. We'll sit for a while because we got time. So I was living in a house in the village down there. Half a year later, I was still wanting to improve my situation. I found this house up here, and I heard, oh, it's only reachable by cable car. Oh, there is no cars in the village. Oh well, that's how I want to live. So now all these mountains you see over there, and that one right here with the landslide, and the ones further down there. These are the things that I see at home when I look out the window, and I see a neighboring wood when I wash my dishes. I improved a lot. And the thing is, how I got to live somewhere in the nature, but not as I wanted. I say it is because I imagined myself in a natural landscape. Like, the people offered me houses in the wood so that I couldn't have a letter delivered to me. There was no letterbox. So that one was because I drew a picture seeing myself, like before I went to the first house of my Cuban lady. I imagined myself being in this nice environment in midst of those green hills, but I didn't see a electrical power line. So the picture from then on, as I realized that there is something missing in those offers, was that I included a inside view. So I drew like what I would see when I look outside from my window. I'm in a house, I look outside, and in the corner of my eye I can see the plug for the electrical devices, and outside I see and outside there is mountains and green hills, and far, far away in the distance there is a village, and the village looks like this one down here. That's the one I drew. It's the one, like on a not so steep hill. You got these houses, and they're like mostly, now they're hidden behind these trees. These trees all hide my little houses. They're always in the sun all day long. And then up there is the mountains. There's nowhere to go when you go there. So not many people pass your house. That's the way I imagined it. So now I am imagining myself being somewhere on an island, and I have this real nice water in front of me, and I'm there without any dangerous animals far away. There is these whales with their, jumping. The dolphins jumping above the water, and the whales like with their water fontaine. And when I put my ear under the sea into the water, I can hear the whales sing. And it's not like 40 degrees, so we aren't in Africa yet. I can always go and visit Africa though. No, we are somewhere like in Tonga or Fiji or these islands down there. Maybe New Zealand, maybe. New Zealand is small, but it seems to be sort of a paradise. I've seen quite a bit people doing YouTubes, and they're all on New Zealand. But New Zealand is very heavy on people that want to live there. So I would really have to hide and be... You hear? Now this one stops. So that is when the cable car has reached the top and bottom destination. It takes the cable car maybe 15 minutes or something. Now some really stupid woman is approaching. People like, that work in the cable car bullshit and treated me bad. When I got the ticket for the people that live up here, they said, that one doesn't exist. Then they said, well, let's have a look. So they went to the other counter. Then they checked, oh yeah, your name is on the list. So I went like, so now then give me that ticket. So then they gave me that, they took the money and the picture I had to provide, but they didn't give me any receipt. So I said, now I need a receipt, come on. But then when I had walked away, I saw the receipt had no address, nothing on it. So I went back and I wanted to have a stamp put onto it, a seal, something. So they did so. But later on, I heard they should have given me some ticket just stating that my ticket will arrive soon. They had to put it onto a plastic card, so that one would arrive. So for the time in between the transitional ticket, they didn't hand me out. So at a counter down the village, I got this transitional ticket, and from then on I could use the cable car and it was all set. So it's these people that told other people in the valley about me. So when I go hitchhiking, people ask me, well, your dialect, isn't your dialect... Well, because while I was treated bad on that counter, someone else from the mountaintop needed a ticket to get the train, catch a train, just as I did. But they gave these people a ticket and let me wait. Because of that, I missed the train. So I got to the coffee machine. The coffee I spilled all over the counter, pretending not to see what I'm doing. So now when I go hitchhiking, people go like, I need to start again.